We're all in business for a reason. The problem that so many small business owners have is they go in 10 million different directions, not really sure which way to go. Listen as your team of experts, Jennifer Glass and Patricia Reszetylo, go through what you need in your business to really make it stand out and benefit you. Because it's the bottom line that matters. Hello and welcome to another episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters podcast, where we are dedicated to your success. If this is the first time you're checking us out, thank you so much for listening and watching. If this is the returning time for you, thank you again so much for your loyal listenership. We are so thrilled that millionpodcast.com ranked us number 2 in direct response marketing, and it's all thanks to you. For continuing to stick with us and all of that. And please remember, sharing is caring. So if you do like what you're hearing, make sure that you tell other people. And please, if you wouldn't mind, leave us a review, because that would help even more in terms of where we're going. And if you are listening on Spotify, the comments are always open. You can definitely drop a comment or two that you want us to know about. And just let us know. Even simply saying hi would be really cool if you wouldn't mind doing that. So, with that said, Patricia and I, for the last several weeks, have been talking about ways that you can use major media opportunities, major marketing opportunities in a really hyper localized fashion. And today we're going to be talking about how to use events in a way that can really help you in your business. Now, events, you may think they're not really huge, things. But the truth is, though, is that if you think about a lot of Zoom events, they attract people from all over the world, right? Think about some of the Zoom events or the GoToMeeting events or any kind of webinar platform that's out there that you have been on. There have been people from your local area, people from states or provinces around where you are, and people from across North America, people in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, in Africa, in South America, all over the place. And the only continent I can say that I personally haven't seen anybody call in on from in any of the webinars I've been on is Antarctica. But that's completely different, totally separate. And by the way, if anyone is here from Antarctica, please let us know, because I'd really love to know that the scientific research folks are actually listening to what it is that we're doing. But putting that aside, getting over to events. So, Patricia, let me ask you, because I know you and I, we do a lot of events. And when we do events, we're not that local kind of business that is out there that may be looking to do these events for the people that they're doing it for. Think about an accounting firm, a law firm, a bank, right? These are all, if you're in the branch or in the office, these are kinds of things for there. And by the way, I will say that I've spoken at a lot of accounting firms, a lot of banks. It's a great way to just be able to get out there, meet the business clients that I want to meet. And, I'm also talking with one of the banks here to even do a more broad program online instead of just in branch. So putting that aside, though, when you think about events for local people, what are you thinking about there?
When I think about an event for local people, it could be a lot of different things. Um, you could be participating in a block type event or a city-wide type event. I mean, just participating, that's an event, and you get to promote it, and you get to, collect information from people who attend and who are interested in what you're doing. Or you could be putting something on. Um, so the first place that I go is, before we even get to what do we want to do, the first question is, who do we want to attract into our business? Because that's going to determine the whole trajectory of what you do.
Right. And of course, you want the avatar, your ideal client, profile, however you want to call that person, to be coming into your business to know more about what you're doing. You don't want the people who are completely irrelevant. And nobody is really irrelevant. Please understand that. I'm not saying, you don't have to drop a comment or tweet me or whatever, or X me, however you say that now. Um, but you don't have to say anything there because I'm not meaning anyone is irrelevant. It's just that from the business's perspective, they are not the target person that I'm necessarily trying to reach. Now, that doesn't mean, again, that they don't know people who are in your ideal profile, right? As an example, one of the things, and I put this out on Facebook over the weekend, I saw a video, and the video was talking specifically to what happens if you find things on your car, whether it's a business card stuck in the window, it's a zip tie stuck on the door handle, it's a flower even on the car, things along those lines. And I said, if it is real and it's true, then obviously I'm sharing it, right? Because you never
Yeah.
know who's actually seeing it and what is important for them to know, especially for the women in their lives. Whether you're a woman or there's other women in your life, that makes sense. And I will just
Mhm.
quickly say, according to the video that I shared, it's laced with fentanyl and knocks you out, and then you can be trafficked. So that's the idea that was in that video. And again, it never hurts just to be extra vigilant because, again, as women, we're always at risk. So,
Yes.
putting that to the side, though, when we think about these events, when we think about the lunch and learns, we think about the workshops, things along those lines. And again, Patricia, like you said, you want your ideal client profile, your avatar to be there. How are you driving people to even know about this? And that's why we're saying in a localized manner of getting folks to show up for these events. Because again, we can do all sorts of major media, and we spoke about a lot of major media for local businesses over the last several episodes, and certainly go back, listen to them. If you haven't yet, go check them out because it's chock full of information that really can be beneficial for you. But
Yeah.
thinking though, in terms of where we are, what it is that we're doing, how would you start attracting folks into the event that we're doing?
Right, right, right. So first off, we start with our avatar. Who are we wanting to attract in? And we might have, more than one avatar. There might be segments there. But if just hold an event for holding an event's sake, you might attract those people in and you might not. You might spend weeks and thousands of dollars to put this thing together and nobody shows up. And that means that it was a waste. And we don't want that to happen. So one, we start with who do you want to attract in? Two, what is relevant to them about your business? What are you trying to do with that segment with your business? Let's say you're a pizza place and you want to attract families. Well, that's okay. So you hold some kind of event that families are going to come to begin with. It's got to be the right kind of event. The next step then is to name it an appealing, interesting kind of thing. It appeals to something about them. Um, and take time naming it because that's an important piece of your puzzle here. Get a good name, get a good written up description, know what it is that you're going to do with those people when you get them in the door for your event. Um, know, have a plan in place for collecting information on those people. Do they need to pre register? Is it going to be just a free walk in kind of event? Are you going to be giving something away in exchange for, their email or their whatever contact information? Are you going to be giving them something that they can redeem later on? You know, so I don't know, Yeah, but you need to have all of those pieces. How are you going to drive those people into your actual business to do work with you? Um, and then what channels, what media channels do they pay attention to? Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Um, which is appropriate. So, for example, we'll delve away from the local business. I'm doing a webinar online this week, and I was marketing on Facebook and marketing and marketing and marketing, and nothing. There was just crickets. It was driving me nuts. I was starting to say to myself, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. So I set up an event on Facebook and I set up an event on LinkedIn. And guess which one got the most response? Being it's a business event, LinkedIn. I got some actual response there. I was very happily floored this morning when I logged in and looked at things. So you have to now know what channels you have. Do you have an in-house list that you can email, that you can text, that you can mail? Do you have foot traffic that you can hand flyers to say, hey, go sign up for this? Are you going to have to advertise on the radio, TV, newspapers, other kinds of media that we've talked about? What? So those are, broad options. There might be other options. You could have a partner help you promote it. It's There's lots of different ways to do this.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's so important to think about all of these different ways to be driving the value, to be getting the right kinds of people, like you said, using LinkedIn to get people for business events. But there's also, remember, like we spoke about in one of the other recent episodes, where local media outlets, you can still put your event out on that outlet and then drive people to come in. The other thing that you really want to be doing is you want to also make sure that you are using partnerships to help drive folks to come in. One of the things that I've done as an example is if I have done an event, let's just say I'm doing an event at a restaurant, I will ask a local accountant to partner with me and to basically act as a sponsor for the event. And I talk up the accountant at the event. If I'm doing it also at a restaurant, I may ask a bank to do the exact same thing. And I talk up the bank and why the business banking folks would be beneficial for you to at least meet. PP, other people's platforms. When you can be using other folks, their connections, their networks, the platforms that they are on, the more your personal reach gets expanded, right? You may know 50% of the exact same people that they do, but they know 50% of the people that you don't, which means you now have 50% more people that at least know about you and may be interested in coming to your event. And so it really is important for you to think, how can I make that work for me in a way that can really continue to drive more opportunities, not only today, but down the road as well. So, Patricia, let me ask you, because we're running short on time today, if we're wrapping this up for our listeners, what is the number one thing you would say that they should definitely be paying attention to?
Pay attention to that person that you want to attract into your business, into your event. Get that part right, and the rest of it, it could still go wrong. But this is the biggest piece: is who are you marketing to your avatar? because everything else is going to stem off of that.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
you said, pay attention to the people that you're actually marketing to, the avatar, your ideal client profile or persona, and making sure that they are the ones that you are specifically reaching out to, which is definitely great advice. Thank you. And again, go back, listen to the episode again, because Patricia and I may have dropped a couple of things that you caught only at surface level as we were speaking, but you may see something even deeper by listening again for some of the ninja hacks that we dropped in this episode. So, again, thank you so much for checking us out and for listening. And again, sharing is caring. Leaving us a review, commenting, anything along those lines would definitely be greatly appreciated. On that note, this has been another episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters. And until next time, here is to your success. Thanks so much for listening to another amazing episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters podcast. We're all about helping the small business community grow and reaching as many people as we can. And the algorithms on the podcast programs love reviews. So if you loved what you just heard, consider leaving us a review. And even if you don't, I'm sure you already did, but consider sharing our episodes and our podcast with your friends and colleagues. Sharing is caring, and here's to your success. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.
It's the bottom line that matters.